Hi everyone, this is day 4 of the trip. We're moving now, going back from Hinton to Jasper. Yesterday we just passed through Jasper, so we didn't really see much. We drove through from Golden to Jasper. It was a long drive, and then we drove to Hinton where our hotel is. So today, tomorrow and the day after, hopefully we'll take our time in exploring Jasper. Okay, just wanted to give you a quick update and talk to you later. Hi everyone. So there are now deers, as we can see here. It's very nice. Hi everyone. Just wanted to give you an update of what we are planning to do so far. Most probably we're going to do the Icefield experience. We're just checking basically for the best options to do that, and yeah, we'll let you know. Hi everyone, so we are here in the Columbia Icefield Center. It's a beautiful place by itself, but we're going in for the adventure very soon, in around 20 minutes or so. Just got the tickets for that, so for two, myself and my father, and looking forward to it. We'll show you how it looks like when we are there.
If that's unusable, we'll be using the emergency window exits as well as the back emergency hatch in the roof there as well. Under your seat in the very front there is a fire extinguisher, and up above the front row of seats as well is 2 first aid kits. So if that's all, who's excited? Who's ready? Yep. Should be about about a 5-minute drive up to the glacier. Sorry? I tried to, but I'm not very good. Tried to, but
No problem. Unfortunately,
So we do have a
we still
lot.
love the beach as well. Thank you so much. I'm trying to get you into this little spot. So, just 1 second here, folks. I just need to make sure.
Driving around, you see a sign that says steep road ahead. That sign is usually indicating that road is somewhere between 6 and 10%. And like I said, these could do up to 36. Today, we're going to be doing somewhere between 30 and 32. Now, the Columbia Icefield is the proud owners of 21 of these buses, but there's currently 23 of them in the world. There's Ivan the Terra bus. He's owned by the U.S. Research Facility team down in Antarctica. But as of last year, he is officially retired after spending 30 years of traversing across that frozen tundra. And last I heard, he was sitting in New Zealand awaiting his forever home in a museum all about Antarctica. So we're very happy for Ivan. Now in 2014, the Australian research team brought out their own Terra bus. And they shipped it to Antarctica as well, but they shipped it with a B-52 bomber. So it's pretty impressive, and she is still running down in Antarctica. As we head up this way, we're going to towards the glacier. We're going to look up here. You can see the ice glacier hanging off the side of this mountain up here. This is actually Andromeda Glacier. Now, Andromeda Glacier is actually classified as an independent or a standalone glacier. And what that means is the mountain itself had its own bowl shape, which then collected a whole bunch of snow, and over time that snow compressed down into glacial ice, creating its own glacier. Now the difference between Andromeda Glacier and the Athabasca Glacier is the Athabasca Glacier is actually getting her ice from somewhere else. And in this case, she's getting it from the Columbia Icefield. So if you look out the window and you look at the very top of the ice field where you see a nice beautiful ridgeline of white snow touching that blue sky, that is the Columbia Icefield itself, and it stretches a full 165 square kilometers back that way towards British Columbia.
So we are in the middle of the ice field. What a beautiful scenery, subhanallah, subhanallah. Literally in the middle of the ice field, as you can see, in the middle of the mountains. And it's amazing. It is worth coming here with those big, huge buses with 6 wheels. هذا شكله بده يصفنا هالمكان هذا.
of it does actually cause the glacier to melt a little bit quicker, it is actually very important for scientists to study this stuff. Because when they actually drill a hole all the way down to the very bottom of the glacier and pull out the core sample, they're actually able to figure out through those layers of cryoconite, through the layers of ice, when we've had major environmental impacts on the glacier. Everything from when we've had forest fires or even volcanic eruptions somewhere on the planet, that cryoconite can actually even tell us that information. It's actually pretty interesting and how long ago it was. Now as we come up over here, I'm going to start off with a few little safety things, okay? While we're out on the ice, please do not climb on the snow around the boundary points. It's very tempting to get up higher, I know, but we need to stay on the flat area. There are red lollipop signs that say Alrighty, everybody. So as we come down here, I would like everybody, when you get back to the Discovery Center, or if you're driving by in the shuttle heading up to the Skywalk, have a look at the Athabasca Glacier. Somewhere in the middle of the glacier, you're going to see these big giant dents and holes in them. That is due to something called a crevasse. Now, a crevasse is a giant crack in the ice that can stretch the whole width or length of the glacier and can open up extremely wide and be over 40 meters deep. There's also something called mill wells. Mill wells are holes in the ice that have been created by meltwater swirling around in one spot, literally drilling a hole in the ice. Mill wells can also open up extremely wide, pretty much wide enough to actually swallow this bus, and can be over 100 meters deep. Now that brings me to a story about a gentleman by the name of Robert Sanford. Robert Sanford was a student in his early 20s back in 1970 at the University of Alberta. He was going to school and having a lot of fun with his friends, and they decided they were going to come out here one day and traipse across the Saskatchewan Glacier, which is not far, it's just down around the corner from here. And they spent the entire day out on this glacier. Well, towards the end of the day, they were, tired, cold, hungry, wet, all that fun stuff, and they decided to head back. Well, as they're heading back, they decided they were going to take a shortcut. During this shortcut, they ended up getting a little complacent and ended up, unfortunately, losing their friend Robert. Robert Sanford slipped and fell into one of those mill wells and went for the craziest, coldest, wettest water slide ride of his entire life. Give me one moment.
We are here now on the Skywalk, and I guess it takes its name because of that thing in there, which is above the canyon by 280 meters. We're gonna go there, but yeah, just wanted to show you the overall scene here. So guys, we are still in the Skywalk and we have reached this part, which is amazing. This tip, I think we're going to stand there, but yeah, just wanted to show you this, and we'll take a clearer video from there. امسحها. اوي طلع تحت
قدام يا رجل.
قديش
ايش تسوي؟
انت شكلك بتخاف انت من المرتفعات؟ صورت already. Wow. SubhanAllah. So as I mentioned before, this is 280 meters above the valley level. It is unbelievable. And I'll show you just to show you how deep is the valley. Not sure if it shows here. But yeah, there's actually water flowing down there. It's beautiful. My father is actually fascinated with the scenery, but he's more fascinated with the actual structure, steel structure. Because as you can see down, it shows you the valley. More wildlife animals in here. And in the middle of the road, that's why we are stopping. I think they're fighting in between each other, but we can't really move because of them. These are ايش هذا؟ So we're now going towards the lower Sunwapta Falls. There is the lower and there is a higher Sunwapta Falls. We're going towards the lower one, and then we're coming back for the higher one later on. We're still walking the trails toward these the lower waterfalls, and yeah, it's actually a very nice scenery around, and yeah, we'll see the waterfalls and head back to see the higher ones, I would guess. These are the lower ones. Hi guys, assalamu alaikum. So we have just reached with my father here the lower waterfalls, and they are beautiful, to be quite honest. The water is gushing in between the rocks, as you can see here. I guess it's coming from the higher waterfalls there. We'll be seeing that after we head up. But yeah, we've just reached now the lower waterfalls. This is a more clear picture or video. So we just visited the lower Sunwapta Falls, and heading back. We're almost done with half of the distance between the lower Sunwapta Falls and the higher ones. So yeah, gonna keep you posted when we reach the higher waterfalls. And yeah, take care. Hi guys, so we've reached the higher waterfalls, as you can see it here. Going down the valley. And this leads to the lower waterfalls, the ones that we just saw a while back. So yeah, so this is the higher waterfalls, and it comes down from basically the mountains, the glaciers. It comes down here into the valley here, and then goes into a second waterfall, which is the lower waterfall that we saw a while back.